like when you do the Frozen.
Yeah. She's bebopping right now. There it is.
No, because you're a rock star.
Oh, do you remember the you probably don't because you're very...
I do. When I met you guys at What's His Butt. Yeah, fuck yeah, I remember.
Holy shit. So here's the thing.
I bragged about that when I got home.
Did you really?
Oh, the interview was fine, but check this shit out. Yeah.
So you gotta tell Riggle. Do you remember What's His Butt's name? You don't.
Larry King.
Yeah, it's only Larry King. It's only Larry King.
What happened?
It's the greatest. Okay, so we met Judy at Larry King. We got interviewed by Larry King. Yeah, I know that's mind blowing.
That's what people call him.
Yeah, that's what they say.
It's never Larry.
The greatest question. Yeah. So it was lovely. It's lovely to see you again.
Likewise.
And you look even more radiant than you did that day.
Oh,
so we're in the interview, and this is the best part. Larry King, he's totally tiny and he's old. He's like frail.
Oh, I've been there.
He said, okay, so he says to our bass player, he goes, "Are you gay?" Like straight into it.
Just why?
It was so old man. It was awesome.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Larry, I used to, I've done his show a couple times, but then I used to have him on the Fox NFL bit to do bits.
Oh.
And one of the favorite lines I got him to say, he goes, "For my money, Salisbury is the greatest of the steaks. What about you?" You know, and I would write lines for him just because in his voice, his very
great.
brash voice. Anyway, enough about Larry King. We got Judy Greer with us today.
I can't believe we have Judy Greer.
I know.
That's amazing.
This is a big score.
What's her butt?
Yeah.
What's her butt?
That's on her IMDb. It's What's Her Butt.
It's What's Her Butt from that thing.
Judy, which, by the way, the title of her book, I don't know where you know me from.
Yeah, I don't know what you know me from.
Yeah, I don't know what you know me from. Greatest title of a book ever.
Where do I know you from is that one of the most heard sentences for you?
Yeah.
I get it too.
Like, are you home? My husband calling. Are you home? Are you home? I'm like, you cracked my location, dude. I set it up for you on your
Life
phone.
360.
I am home. What do I know you from? Oh my God, you're in that thing. Although lately, I feel like my star meter must be dropping. I've had a couple, like, in the beginning, it's like, did I meet you at Steve's party? Yeah. Like, that's how it starts. And then people kind of do know you're an actor, but they don't know what you know me from. Yeah. And then you get really famous, and then they're just like, oh my God, it's Judy Greer. That has not happened to me yet. Now I feel like it's dropping back to, like, I got asked the other day if I was a young hostess at a restaurant asked me if I was a gardener at her school. Like, I was like,
that's amazing.
Do you get confused with because I get
gardeners? People
come up and they'll accuse. I get confused with like Patrick Warburton a lot, and so people come up and say, but they do it with such confidence. That's the thing that always strikes me. And they're like putty. I'm like, not me. No, that's Patrick Warburton. They're like, whatever, dude. Yeah, whatever.
Who do you get confused for?
It used to be Catherine Hahn until she became famous, more like actual famous.
Judy, you're selling yourself short. You are incredibly famous. People love you.
So I am beloved. My husband always says, "You're not America's sweetheart. You're America's best friend." And my manager is like, "Please stop saying that publicly. We're trying to position you differently." Anyway,
you're both. You're both.
Yeah.
You're all of it.
And you're also a great director. I want to put that out there because the last time we worked together, you were the director of this amazing film, which I want more people to see it. I want more people to see the trailer of it. Just go see the trailer because it'll whet your appetite in the biggest way. That trailer you cut together was fantastic.
Well, yeah, I did it all by myself. I cut together that trailer alone in my room.
That's amazing.
With actual razor blade, old school editing.
Old school editing.
I like that.
Real film editing.
Yes.
So the movie, by the way, is called A Happening of Monumental Proportions.
Yes.
And it was great.
Oh my God, dude. I love my baby. I love my movie so much. Yeah. But Rob, you are so funny in it. Like, we still quote you.
Why are you pointing at me?
Like, thank you, Judy.
It's so aggressive.
Darren doesn't believe I act. He doesn't believe
we
I do
know
anything.
you act. It's just a matter of how good.
Okay.
Like watching you and Allison Janney name dropping my cast is incredible. But like watching you and Janney together and it was like I was like, oh my God, I'm watching a thing happen that should have happened before, but it's happening now. Like the two of you together and that like
I had so much fun on that set. You run a really good set and you make it very comfortable for everybody. And it speaks volumes, I think, about who you are as a person, that you were able to go out and just say, hey, would you want to come do this thing with me? And I don't think you got all of Hollywood. It's one of the best casts I've ever seen. And it's because of you.
I mean, I would get so many meetings after that movie came out because people would be like, how did you get those people? I'm like, I asked.
Yeah.
Like I asked and people were like, oh yeah, no, totally. I will say
it's because you asked. It's because you asked. That's why.
Two things. I mean, I love the story and the script, but I think I asked favors of my people that I love, and B, it shoots in LA. And like, I mean,
huge.
When you need favors from people, do it near where they live and sleep at night, because like it's so much easier to ask someone like, dude, it's one day of work in LA. Like,
yeah, it's amazing. Like, just to give people a taste of who we're talking about that are in this movie. You're talking about Keanu Reeves. Yeah. You're talking about Jennifer Gardner. You're talking about Alice Janney. You're talking about Bradley Whitford, Katie Holmes, Common, Anders Holm, John Cho, Kumal. I mean,
I know.
The list goes on and on. Brendan Hunt. I mean, it's just amazing. It keeps going and going, and I know I'm leaving out some people, and I apologize, but the cast was phenomenal.
It was so silly. I just couldn't believe it.
How long did it take you? Like, you have this idea for a movie. I want to make a movie, and how long from the germ of the idea to the final product?
Like a couple weeks, I think is pretty normal.
Oh, that's a long time.
No, I think all movies get made in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
Okay.
TV
right.
shows, like maybe a couple like extra weeks, but like movies happen so fast.
2 weeks.
It's a secret. It's a little dirty secret.
That's cool. You guys make it seem
like it's like the opposite of a dog life. It's like 1 year in development is like, no, it's the same as a dog life. It's like, it takes so fucking long to get anything made. I can't.
Yeah.
So my second movie. So I don't even know when we shot this movie, like 8 years ago. I feel like my
2017
is like coming in hot. I'm like, oh my God, it takes so long to make a movie. Why do I all of a sudden sound like I'm home and I'm in high school again? But it was like it was like 7 or 8 years ago. I'm still trying to get my second movie made. Like,
that's nuts.
Insane.
After that movie, yeah, I because it was so well done. It was so I loved everything about it. And I feel that like most people, you're like, oh, well, then immediately following that was an avalanche of movies that you get to.
Myself, I know. I was like, am I even going to have time to act after this? Like, honestly, like,
yes.
Will I just be sought after as a director? I mean, I do have a day job.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my God, 8 years later, I'm like, please, I could make it for 500,000. All I need, I can't even, it's insane how hard it is to get anything made now.
That's the thing. People really, really underestimate the glacial pace with which things get done in this town.
Yeah.
It's obnoxious. It's just terrible.
And Rob, I wonder if this was the case for you. When I first started, which was a long time ago, but it was like I would go in and audition, mostly in television, but in TV, I would audition for something. And I knew by the time I started my car after the audition, if I had it or not. Like, I would seriously, like, everything happened so fast in television.
Yes.
And it was crazy. It was like, oh, if I'm home in my driveway, 100% I didn't get it. Yeah. Like that. It's just like
you're absolutely right. Sometimes you'd find out right there in the room if if your pitch was a success. But that was the old paradigm. I liked the old paradigm. There was a system in place and there was a schedule. Like
rules.
This is pilot season. This is development season. This is when we shoot the pilot. This is when it gets picked up. If it gets picked up, and now you're on the show or you're not on the show. But you could kind of build and plan It's all
I
gone.
know.
It's
Don't
all
forget
gone.
recasting. Okay, I
Yeah.
didn't get it, but they're now they've picked up the pilots and they're recasting.
Yeah.
Sorry, other actors, but you've got like a little bit of a second round, and now you're like, ooh, my pilot didn't get picked up, but that pilot did, and they're recasting a girl that I might be right for, and then I'm getting on like a half a season order.
Right. And you could plan. You could. I don't know. There was a system in place, and
know.
now the system has been blown up.
It's nebulous.
It is. It's just very
I don't even know what
weird.
that word means.
I don't either. I read it this morning.
I saw it in Star Trek once.
Yeah?
I heard it in Star Trek.
I don't even know. I just saw it. I was like, I'm going to say it on the podcast today.
It was. They called it a nebulous. You go into the Great Nebulous Cloud, which is a confusion.
I don't even know what that means.
Yeah, guys, get into Star Trek. You'll learn so much. So much.
Like the OG.
Yeah.
Are you Star Trek or Star Wars, Judy?
I'm Real Housewives. No,
That is sci-fi too. That is actually qualifies as sci-fi.
it does now. If you look at anyway, still a fan. I didn't do those. I didn't
You
do
didn't?
either of them. No.
Did you ever get into the Matrix? You're not a science fiction gal.
No, I'm not. And like,
Are you a Notebook gal?
well,
Yeah, that's
I'm
all.
sorry.
Come
I guess
on.
that's
by
the
way,
same thing.
The first time I saw The Notebook, I was on an airplane, and like I was crying so hard. The flight attendant asked me if I was going to be okay. Like I was ugly crying at such a level. Because also, like, the oxygen is weird there and all this stuff. And, like, I was just, like, inconsolable.
Yeah.
And the flight attendant is like, do you need anything? Are
Yeah.
you going to be okay?
And let's be honest, you were tired. You probably didn't. You didn't have anything to eat
Let's be
yet.
more honest. I was probably hungover. I was probably in bad shape.
Have you made your husband watch The Notebook?
No, I'm saving my favors. No.
Okay. Oh, you're stocking them up? You're stocking them up. I get it. I get it. That's smart. That's smart. That's for when you really, really need something done.
By the way, your husband is so fun. Her husband is so nice, so fun. He's such the most. He's the easiest hang I've ever.
He's a world-renowned singer.
I do get excited whenever I see Judy and her husband at parties. I get excited because I'm like, oh, good. I get relief. There's like a wave of relief that comes over me because I'm like, oh, people I can talk to. So I cornered them. I drive them into a corner. I bring drinks so they have no excuse to leave me. And I give them drinks and then I corner them. And then Judy has to stand there while I talk to her husband nonstop. You got a really, really great
Pretty
husband.
great. I tell him, like, people come for Judy Greer, but they stay for Dean Johnson. Like, he's one of a kind. He's a really special guy. I got really.
That's
you
amazing.
You both are outstanding. And so, hey, but I wanted to talk about also because you are out there hooking and jabbing. I know you haven't, you might not be behind the camera, but you're definitely still in front of it.
Yeah.
And you just did a movie with one of my favorite guys, Pete Holmes. Tell us about that. It was a Christmas movie. What was it called? Hold on a second. It was the Best Christmas Pageant?
Christmas movie, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's always going to be a Christmas movie. Yeah, we shot that a year ago in Winnipeg, Canada.
Okay, let's right there. Can I stop you right there?
Friendly Manitoba. Yes.
Don't hate.
I'm not going to hate, but
Feels like you're going to hate.
I'm not. A good friend of mine, Nia Vardalos, good friend of mine, is from Winnipeg. What was your experience in Winnipeg? Was it good? Was it bad? Was it lonely? Was it cold? Did you feel like you were?
I fucking love Winnipeg.
All right, good. There's a vote. I'm putting you in the yes column.
I have told several people, like, you should have me be like a local, like, spokesperson for Winnipeg.
Would you move there?
Would I move there?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
But you can't ask a Southern Californian that.
I can,
Well,
and I
today
did.
You can. By the way, today you can.
Yeah, totally.
Today, Winnipeg's looking pretty fucking good. I'm not gonna. Am I allowed to swear? I swear a lot.
It's all right. We're good.
You can swear.
We're good.
Is a dog.
Oh my gosh.
That's not even a real dog.
That's not real. Look at that dog. That's the best. What's his or her name?
This is Mary Richards. She was annoying, so I'm putting her on the bed. So I love Winnipeg. I was there. Not only do I love Winnipeg, I was there in Winterpeg, as we like to call it.
Yeah.
And I was there for Summerpeg. And I like both for different reasons. I mean, I think that I feel strongly that if you are an unhappy person, then you're not going to be happy anywhere. Like, you're going to find something to complain about, no matter where you are. Like
I
if you're
get that.
We totally get that.
I get it.
like, so I'm like, I bloom where I'm planted. I found all kinds of fun stuff to do in Winnipeg. I loved it so much. I was there in the back to a Christmas movie. I was there in the winter for this movie, yes, with Pete Holmes, and he saved the day too because he made it so fun. But the city itself, like, I don't know, I had such a great time. I like going thrift store shopping, and there's like great thrifting in Winnipeg and great antiquing. And then I went out to this weird Icelandic village called Gimli. I did
Oh,
like a
wow.
day trip. I would have spent the night, but I was like, I don't know. I didn't feel like packing. But there's all these ice fishing places in Gimli and this very strange Icelandic heritage museum that is in. Please go to this museum. Christopher Guest should have made a movie here. It is like
Now I know exactly. When you say that, I instantly know. I'm like,
totally.
oh, okay, yeah,
Yeah.
I can picture it now.
the Icelandic Heritage Museum is in like an office space on the first floor of like an office building, and there's arrows like in tape on the carpet that tell you like how to walk through it, and it's
Oh God, I love it.
so good. It's so sweet and funny, and I don't know, but also like Winnipeg in the summer was awesome too. The weather was beautiful.
Yeah.
There's like trails everywhere. You can ride your bike or walk on these trails that go along the river, which is beautiful. I don't know. I'm a fan.
Good. I love to hear that.
Yeah, the only thing I think, oh, the food. Honest to God, I had one of the best meals of my entire life in Winnipeg at this restaurant called Deer and Almond. The best food. And like,
Can I ask?
yeah.
Is it actual like venison and almonds? What is it?
That's all they serve.
I don't eat those animals. So
Yeah.
but they have a lot of animals on that menu because they are not shy about eating animals in Canada.
Well, yeah, it's the Great
They
White
love-
North.
yeah.
Yeah.
I did eat fish there, and I was asking because I went a few times, and I asked like what's good tonight, and the chef came out and he was like, this guy caught this fish today and brought it here.
That's pretty cool.
I'm like, I'll have it,
Yeah.
obviously. Like,
That's as fresh as it gets.
yeah, it was so good. This chef is so wonderful. And then in the winter, the river freezes, and they have like stores and restaurants and bars do all these pop-ups like on top of the frozen river. And he does one called Raw Almond, where for 1 month he brings in a new chef every single week, and they serve dinner on top, like in a pop-up restaurant on the ice on the river. It's really
How
cool.
cool is that?
This is the most ringing endorsement for,
I know.
for Winnipeg I've ever heard.
I
Yeah.
got to tell you, you should be. And I noticed also she said, she said we when she was talking about Winnipeg. So she already counts
yeah.
herself as one of.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
I love it. I absolutely love it.
Thing that Winnipeg doesn't have, I felt like, and I asked people, locals, there's not like a big venue, and you'll appreciate this, for concerts. So like
Oh.
people who want to go see like a big band, they have to go a lot of times. I ask them like, well, where do you go see Taylor Swift? And they're like, we fly to
Because that's the question everybody wants to know.
You even asked it. You even asked it like a 15-year-old girl.
Yeah.
That was
Where do-
where do you even go?
Yeah,
Where do you even
because
go?
everybody goes to see Taylor
I'm
Swift.
like, okay, I'm buying everything else. But like, what about Taylor Swift? And they're like, hey, that sucks. We have to basically drive to Toronto or we drive to Minnesota. And I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, how long is the drive to Minnesota? And they're like, 5 hours? I'm like, okay.
Yeah, that's doable.
For Taylor Swift.
Yeah. Oh, 5 hours, nothing.
I played in Winnipeg, and it was a big radio show for the Growler. The Bear is the radio station, and we played in the convention center. That's the biggest, but that's not big enough to hold the power of Swiftie.
Yeah.
Or
Nor your power.
Yeah.
You know, it held my power. Yeah, it was more than ample to hold my power. It couldn't hold
But, like,
anything.
Sound-wise, how does it sound for you?
Crappy.
Right.
Yeah.
Like it's
It-
not set up for that. That's my point. Like
Right.
like a band could play, like your band played there, but
The acoustics.
right.
The acoustics
It's-
are off.
it's a big
I mean,
cave.
any municipal auditorium, the acoustics are not made for that. They're made for booths with
Yeah.
people, saying
Or
come-
one speaker.
Yeah, one speaker and a bunch of booths set up, trying to get people to buy their insurance or whatever.
Yeah.
So tell us about this. Anytime you make a Christmas movie,
Yeah.
I think, Angel gets his wings because it's cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching.
All the time.
That Christmas movie is going to be running in perpetuity.
I
Yeah.
know.
Christmas, especially a good one, and this is a good Christmas movie.
It's cute.
It's great. So people are going to be watching it. People are going to
Yeah.
be watching it for years to come.
Yeah.
Years to come. It's going to be a staple. It's going to be like the A Wonderful
Yeah.
Life. So tell us about it. Tell us about your experience, everything. We want to know it all.
Well, so it's based on a book called The Best Christmas Pageant Ever, and the director writer is Dallas Jenkins, and he makes this show called The Chosen, which is like wildly, hugely popular. That at the time I was not really aware of, but now obviously I have a lot of Chosen merch. But 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 he had been obsessed with making this movie for 10 years, and it had actually been in development in a lot of other places with a lot of other directors, and he was just like waiting and waiting because he was like, I know that I'm supposed to make this movie. I know I'm meant to make this movie. And so when he did, he had like a really strong vision, like aesthetically, of what he wanted the movie to look like. And that was what was so exciting to me when we talked about it in the beginning, was that he was like, I kind of want it to be like A Christmas Story meets Wes Anderson. I'm like, sold, sign me up.
Yes.
The other thing I really liked about it is like it is slightly churchy, but I liked that the church people were the bad guys. And so I could get behind that too, because I'm not very churchy. And
Well, that's not true. That's not true, because you wanted to go to a Presbyterian church instead of your Catholic church because the boys were cuter, if I recall.
Okay, so yeah, that makes me super churchy.
That makes you opposite of churchy, I think.
Actually, yeah, it does make you the opposite of churchy.
I'm born again Christian.
Where are the hot guys? I want to go there.
No, I'm just teasing. Please keep going. Keep going.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like, I'll definitely talk about spirituality. I was like nervous about, I was like, well, what is this like overall story? Is it like that people who go to church are good and other people are bad? And it was like, no, the story is about like hypocrisy, about like taking people in, about like welcoming the other. I thought like the overall theme of the movie was really beautiful. And then when he was like making the shots and making it so visually stunning, that was really exciting to me. I'm always a sucker for like how a movie's gonna look. And if any directors are listening to this and you tell me like, I need you to do this because it's gonna be a really cool shot, like I'll totally do it. Because I
That's
like that.
right? That's cool. Good to know.
Yeah.
Good to know.
Yeah, like it's fun to be in something that has like a real point of view, aesthetically.
Well, and if you don't mind me throwing out there, though, a question, because you have a director's eye. Does that affect the way, going from behind the camera to in front of the camera? You obviously been in front of the camera for years and you know what you're doing. But now, after being behind the camera a lot more, do you find yourself saying, "Oh, I'm going to do it this way because it might help this, or it might do that," or are you editing in your mind, or are you able to separate the streams there?
Usually, I'm only editing out of laziness when I'm like, he's never using this shot because like I don't need to. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
Oh, like that's, and I know you do that too.
Yes, we all do. We all do.
Yeah. Or like he's not even gonna be on me for this. It's fine. Like he's gonna be over there by the end of the scene. So I don't know why I'm over here going, oh,
Emoting.
I don't have to emote.
Yeah.
But I think what I'm interested in is like setting one story apart from all the other stories of like a similar tone. You know what I mean? Like, yes, we're doing a family Christmas movie. So like what's going to make this one, like you said, last longer, and what's going to make this one stand out against all the other Christmas movies. And so when someone's pitching me like the look and feel and the vibe and the tone as something that's like a little bit elevated, that's exciting to me.
Yeah. And you're right about the theme too, because that theme will, if it's that's a beautiful thing about something that is anchored in some sort of truth. It'll be true now. It'll be true 50 years from now.
Yeah, and it's a little bit timeless. Like we're not in the past, but we don't have cell phones or anything. It's told from my daughter's memory. And so that's also nice because it's like you're not like, it's not like historical, or we're not trying to like match things. Like the cars are kind of all over the place. Like there's a lot of scenes where I wear the same outfit because it's her memory. So it's not like, she's not remembering like, oh, and then mom changed into like a chambray button down and khakis. Like, she doesn't.
You're not tethered to logic.
Right.
You could just be creative.
Well, you mentioned also Wes Anderson, who You know,
No,
I
bucket list, man.
that's my dream is to do even if I just pushed a broom through a scene and didn't say a word and never looked up, I would take it.
That sounds like a Wes Anderson scene. You know?
Yeah.
I love the way he stylizes things, and I love
I
the pacing of the dialogue and just everything that about his stuff
I
is
know.
amazing.
Is he one of those guys that generally most actors are like, I want to be in that movie?
I think so.
100%. Look
Yeah,
at the cast of his movies. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, like, he's worked with everyone but us.
I think I see a project coming.
By the way, the playlist for Asteroid City on Spotify is like so good.
I gotta listen to that.
It's really good.
Really?
It's really fun. Yeah.
Oh, good.
It's like old-timey. It's just like a really good. Do you ever do that like on Spotify where you just
Life Aquatic. I think the soundtrack on Life Aquatic is one of the best. I mean, Queen Bitch by Bowie. You know, when he starts walking down the stairs, that's juxtaposed against Bill Murray walking down those steps, and then it goes into slow mo. I'm like, forget about it. It's the greatest thing I ever saw. It's the greatest thing I ever saw.
I just got to work with Owen Wilson on a TV show that'll be coming out someday, and also has a name. And
What's the name? Can you not say it?
I don't know what it is.
I've been there.
I love the realness.
By the way, all morning today, I have been brain dead. I thought I was having a stroke at one point. I really did, because I couldn't finish sentences. I couldn't remember things.
Yeah, what's going on with you?
I still might be having one, as far as I know.
feel like
Menopause.
menopause is real. It's real.
Enjoy. So I got to work with Owen Wilson, and I was like I just was like, God, Owen has been, and I told him this too, like, you've been in most of my favorite movies. And I started to look at his like IMDb page just for a refresher. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to go back and watch like all of these Wes Anderson movies and see Owen and watch these amazing performances of him. But like the other actors, I mean, like the Darjeeling Limited, I had never seen it. It's so good. Adrian Brody is so good in it.
So good.
Oh my God.
I got a newfound appreciation and love for him.
I know, me too.
Based on that.
And then, like, did you see The Brutalist yet?
No.
I know.
Whoa. We've got a mouth agape.
That feels heavy judgment.
Look at gosh.
Just excitement.
Okay.
Excitement that you get to see it for the first time.
So I don't think that your show with Owen Wilson has a name yet.
Yeah.
I know. I wasn't being coy.
No,
it doesn't have a name.
It really doesn't have a name.
It's a golf show, right?
Golf comedy.
It's a golf show. So Darren and I are major golfers. Like we live for it. We live for it.
We are actual bona fide junkies.
So just saying, I don't know, when you're having coffee with the director, maybe just drop a name.
Like,
I don't know, drop
a
name.
Well, I think it'd be really fun for. Hopefully we get a season 2, maybe to do one of those like celebrity golf episodes.
Tournament?
Now you're cooking.
Where everyone can come.
Oh my God. You'd have so much fun.
Everyone got in trouble all the time for golfing. In fact, they had to like put on our call sheet, like, no one is allowed to golf anymore. We were shooting on these golf courses. And they were like, the cast and crew is no longer allowed to golf on the golf course while we're shooting, because
I'm sure everybody was practicing their chips.
Done.
Yeah.
Hey,
everybody's practicing their chips and putts, and they're like, guys, focus.
Where did you shoot it?
Vancouver.
Ooh, Vancouver golf.
Nice.
I've golfed in Vancouver.
I have too.
Have you?
Yes.
I don't remember where.
I even got a hat from it. Oh, well, whatever. Anyway, but I loved it.
I'm really, really fired up to learn how to golf. And I met someone at a Christmas party, I think. Wink, wink,
wink. Wink, nod, nod.
Teach me.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Wait. Are you sure this teacher is qualified and that they know what they're doing?
Oh.
That's...
He does.
We're talking about professional.
For realio?
Yeah. One Miss Kasha K.
Oh, okay. You know what? She's got a great swing.
Yeah.
And she's lovely.
She is a pro.
Yeah.
Yes.
And she's a good teacher.
Oh,
And personally, I have to say, I want to learn from a woman.
yeah.
There you go.
I get
Not
that.
even like not even because I'm such a feminist, but because I actually just feel like a woman will be able to teach me in a way. I've taken golf lessons, well, one time from a man, and one time I got in a horrible fight with my husband because please, men, don't
Yeah.
tell us.
Yeah.
Just don't tell us. Don't tell
Don't.
your wives. Anyway,
It never goes well. It never goes well.
It's a yeah. You want a professional to do that.
And sometimes, yeah, I don't think it's sexist at all for a woman or a man to say, I receive stuff better from my own sex. I just do.
You know,
Yeah.
I'll tell you this. The only thing I would say to that
Yeah.
are massages.
You don't prefer.
I went in for a massage with like Tina
Yeah.
one day at my chiropractor's office, and Tina took the day off, and I had Jacques giving me a massage. I was like, okay, well, they go, hey, Jacques is in if you want a massage. I'm like, yeah, I don't want to make it weird.
Yeah.
So I go in, and this is where the problem was. I'm on my back,
Yeah.
and Jacques is behind me, and he's a very, very strappingly handsome Frenchman,
Yeah.
6'2".
where's your chiropractic office?
It's in Agora. And I hear this. Make sure your ears. I hear this as he's digging his thumbs in my shoulder. I hear.
Okay.
He's exhaling, doing his thing while he's doing his thing, and I'm like, it just got uncomfortable. for
It
me.
rips you from the moment.
It took me out of the moment. I was like, oh wait, am I on a date?
Doesn't Tina do that?
Tina does, but it's just a different tone. You know what I mean?
I had a massage
like
from
Yeah, exactly.
I got a
Yes.
massage. I got a massage from a man. I got a massage from a man one time, and the only thing, I mean, he did a fine job, and I'm not opposed to it. But the only thing that bothered me was I was on my stomach, and he was putting his arms on my back and doing this, right, where he's like massaging out. But his arms were just like the late Robin Williams. They were as bushy as, you know.
That's tough stuff.
And so I felt, but the thing is, I felt it. I felt the hair, and then that ripped me from the moment. Then I went into tense. I became extremely tense. By the time I left, I was like, I got to go to another place to get another massage.
That's how they get you.
This is a conversation. I feel like I always have this conversation with men about massages, straight men, I will say.
Yeah.
Like, because
Yeah.
my husband and all of his friends went to, they were in Vegas for the weekend, and they were all getting massages, and whoever made the appointments made all female masseuses. And so, there was one woman couldn't show up at work that day, and
right.
so a man had to come in, and they were like, the guy who ended up with the guy was like, yeah, I'm just gonna eat the money. I don't
See, I wouldn't
know.
do that.
Yeah.
I don't even want the massage. And I was like, are you kidding me right now? Like, he told me that story. I'm like, so he just ate like $300 for like a
To not get touched.
spa massage because he didn't want a man to rub him.
Yeah. Well, you know,
That doesn't make any sense. That is. By the way, I've had other massages by men. They've been fine.
Yeah.
They've been just fine.
not Jacques.
So not well. I didn't go to Jacques.
Very
And
heavy breather.
whenever they say, "Are you okay with a male masseuse?" I'm like, "Sure." I go, "Can I see his forearms, please?"
Yeah. Here, bring the nair for him. Just take this.
I I do a quick look and then I'm on the table. It's easy as pie.
What if it was a woman with very hairy forearms?
I'd be bummed out. I'd be really bummed out.
So it's
Only
the
because
hair, not the
because
sex.
it's the sensation, it's the feel that you get. It's the
Yeah.
feel. Doesn't matter if it's man or woman.
I
It's
can't
the
think of what that would feel like.
Is it weird? Is it weird for you if you go to a massage and you book it with Tina and
it feels like
Jacques shows up?
it feels like someone's dragging wet seaweed across your back.
Oh,
There you go.
that's
Thank
pretty-
you. Now do you see why I tensed up?
Nailed it.
There you go.
Would I have the massage? Do I care?
Do you care?
No.
Okay, but you
I
care
don't
about your golf teacher. You care about.
Because I
different.
feel like a woman is going to understand the mechanics of a woman's body and where I can find my strength, because I am like not, I just have women are just, our muscles are different than men.
Yeah,
And
I get
she's
that.
gonna understand how to get me, because from what I know about golf, you want to hit it like straight is more important than far. And so she's going to like help me understand with my body mechanics how to hit it straight and far.
I like
Okay.
that. I think that's.
The confidence is there.
I like it, and I like that you have a goal. You have a vision.
Mm-hmm.
The goal is I want to hit it straight. We'll start there. I want straightness. Then we'll worry about distance. I like that.
So I like the
I feel
priorities.
Yeah, and golf like straight is like
Much
straight
better.
is better, right?
Much
Like
better.
then you have more control over your game.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. So, all right. So tell us a little bit. We got offside. We got off on the sidetrack. The movie, the Christmas movie, best Christmas pageant ever. You loved it. You had a good experience.
Yes, I did.
And working with Pete was fun.
Pete's so fun.
He
Have
is
you
fun.
met him? Do you know him?
I'm good friends. We were in New York doing comedy together back in New York, back in the New York days, and he's always been just a ray of light. Whenever you show up, he's just so enjoyable. I just did his podcast back in.
You did.
God,
I'm
back
gonna
in.
listen to that episode. He's so special.
Yeah.
He probably doesn't. I don't want to speak for him. He might not have the same feelings about Winnipeg that I do.
Okay.
His
podcast is called "You Made It Weird."
Yeah.
He doesn't like Winnipeg.
I think he was more homesick than I was, but he has a little kid. He has like a baby, so I think he was just like more homesick.
Do you get homesick when you're out on the road?
I miss my husband. I miss my dog if I don't bring my dog, but usually I like it.
Okay.
I'm okay with it.
I'm okay with being on location too.
Yeah.
I did 3 weeks in New York City in August, and I was like,
Oh, well, come on.
this was great. I loved it.
know.
I loved it.
New York is such a dream when you get to
Yeah.
go there. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really get like no, but I also like don't have little kids, so I think
Right.
it's different when you have little kids at home.
Yeah. For sure.
So I don't really I don't get homesick. I kind of
So-
like the idea of like setting up shop in this like strange other town that like I would never go to. It's
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then when you're there and you're not working, because a lot of times when you're on a set, you may be there for 4 weeks and you may only work 9 days, 10 days, but you have to be there for the whole 4 weeks,
Right.
Because schedules change, weather change, they move things around.
You got to be present.
You got to be present. You got to be available. They can be on a string, and they don't want to fly back and forth, back and forth, back and forth.
Yeah.
So you kind of camp out, and then you find out you're like, I got 3 days off, and then you're like, well, I think I'm going to go hike this thing, or I'm going to go see this museum,
Right.
or I'm going to go do this.
I'm going to go
or-
thrifting.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I get that.
So you're doing great fun stuff. You got the golf show.
Yeah.
You got this unbelievably cool movie.
Yeah.
What else? You got anything else cooking that we should be on the lookout for?
Yeah, I have this independent movie is going to come out in April, but I don't have an actual date yet. But it's called Eric LaRue, and I shot it, I forget when, maybe like a year and a half ago. And it's actually the actor Michael Shannon. It's his directorial debut.
Oh, I love Michael.
Oh, he's the best.
I got to work with him one time, and you're right. He is the best.
He is. He's
Yeah.
great. I've worked with him a couple times, and then he called me up and asked me if I would star in this movie that he wanted to direct.
That's so great.
So I have that coming out, and it's pretty dark. It's pretty deep and dark. I play the mother of a school shooter.
Oh.
Oh, that's heavy.
I mean, I know. It's like, I want to say like, oh yeah, it's Michael Shannon. It's a broad comedy. I think no one's surprised that he would choose that subject matter, especially if you know him. But yeah, so it's like very funny. I wasn't sure when it was going to come out, and they've settled on April, but there was a minute where I thought it might come out at the same time as the best Christmas pageant ever. And I was like, whoa,
Yeah.
that's going to be a fun press junket. Being like, yes, definitely family-friendly Christmas movie.
Yeah.
And like, how do you move on from this when your son is a school shooter? But it didn't. So I'll focus on that like coming up. But it's it's a really beautiful, dark story about a community in crisis and where people go to for comfort and how they try to find comfort. Yeah, it was.
I love your range. I love your abilities. I love you as an actor. You really can. You cover the entire spectrum. It's amazing.
It is amazing. You are great at what you do.
Yeah.
And that's the no bullshit.
Yeah.
You're great at what you do.
It's awesome. It's awesome to see, and I can't wait to. I mean, it sounds heavy. It sounds like it's going to be a challenging watch, but I can't wait to see you in it.
Thank you. Yeah, it's challenging, and I'm really proud of it. I'm really, really proud of it. I'm proud that we got to make it, and I'm really excited that it's coming out because, as you know, to circle back to like how hard is it to get a movie made? Like, it's really hard to get a movie made, and then when you're making an independent movie, it's really hard to get that movie to come out too. It's like it's just because you're shooting the movie that all of a sudden you're like, great, nailed it. It's like then it's like a whole second hurdle to get these movies actually at a place where people can see them. And you think like, well, there's a million streamers, but that's not even the case sometimes.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, it's 2 rounds with these independent movies. So I'm just so happy that we found a home at Magnolia Pictures and they're going to release.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's
and,
fantastic, by the way. Fantastic.
And also, thank you. And it's like, just so unfortunate that we still have to talk about this stuff and tell these stories. And so, yeah, it'd be fun to only be able to make like broad comedies. But unfortunately, I think like, we still have such an issue with gun violence in our country. So
yeah.
I'm glad to tell a part of that story too.
Well, and that's very true. There's all kinds of stories out there, and they all have their place, and they need to be told. And I hope it gets a lot of eyeballs.
I hope so too.
Yeah. And by the way, you're a ray of light. Thank you for joining us. I have to sit with this guy right here, and so it's so nice.
I can't believe you're laughing at that.
To be able to spend time with a ray of light.
Wow.
It really
with some positive energy.
Yes.
Old school earphones, keeping it real.
Yeah.
We are keeping it real.
Yes.
Thanks for the kind words. It's awesome.
No, seriously, Judy, thank you so much for joining us. It's always a pleasure to see you. You're so gracious with your time. I know you're busy, so thank you. We really appreciate it.
You're wonderful. Thank you.
I was so excited to talk to you guys today. Thanks for having me.
You're awesome.
I can come back.
Yeah, anytime. You're always welcome here. Forget about it.
You should come in the studio, too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'll do that.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
You'll love it. I'll make him shower. It'll be great.
I'll even shower. I didn't shower for this.
That's
Sorry.
a deal.
That's not true. You look great. You look so good.
I'm
that's
not wearing
awesome.
pants. Just kidding. I am wearing pants.
I'm not.
By the way, and please bring Mary Richard, because that was one of the cutest moments.
She's now sound asleep.
She just looked at us. She went dead face right in the camera.
Yeah. She's like, really?
She was not, and it felt like non-approval. She saw both of us, and she was like, no.
She's like, I don't like your podcast. No. I don't like your podcast at all. I'm not a fan.
Yeah, not a fan.
Mm-mm.
Put me down, Mom.
She's like not even listening because I have these in my ears. She just knows.
She knows.
All right, bye, you guys.
Thank you
so much.
Thank you so much, Judy.
She's awesome.
I know. The best.
You try to be half that cool. Try to be.
I can't. It's just not. It's not attainable.
Imagine waking up every day and being Judy Greer and going, everything's awesome. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I
want that level of lightness and joy. I think she's jovial and joyful.
Totally.
She's joyful.
Could you imagine her mad at you?
I wouldn't want that.
She's like, she's super pissed, but she's kind of giggling. She's like, I
you're the
can't believe
worst.
you were out all night last night. You crazy guy. You're like, I know, all hungover.
Yeah, it's so fun to see, and I'm not kidding. Well, clearly I'm not kidding, but her range, she really can run the spectrum of characters and material.
It's interesting because she's been doing it for so long, and we all age, right? We all start and we're all super young, and then but she's been able to morph and embrace the time and just kill it, and she can play everything.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
She has a good eye for probably reading scripts and knowing,
Thank you.
What she feel like she could. What is it? Why are you thinking?
I feel like you're talking about me.
I was talking about Judy Greer. Hey, Gary.
Yes, sir.
And Claire.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Everybody's still here.
And they're saying yes, sir, still.
I thought they had left.
No. I could see them.
You can see them?
Yeah.
We wouldn't leave after that dog. The dog was freaking adorable.
Right? How cute was her dog?
I mean, the dog was only marginally cooler than Judy. Judy was awesome.
I thought you were calling him. I thought you just said, I wouldn't leave here, dog. I was like, wait a minute.
Leave here, no, after her dog.
Got it. I'm surprised you're still here, Gary, but I love it.
All right. Well, friends, this has been Riggle's Picks.
Found.
I'm Rob Riggle. This is
Darren Leader.
And thank you for joining us. Hope we'll see you again.
I love you.
Thanks. I love you too.
Thank you. Ditto, bro.
Bye.